So this was a weird one, man. I don't remember if the caption said pick one or pick two. I don't remember, but just for the sake of argument, I'll just pick one out of the bunch. First of all, shout out to Winter's Gore. I think the page is. They got a lot of horror content on there. Dope ass page on Facebook. But I'll just pick one. But let me let me say, man. If I'm being honest, I love every movie out of these picks. I love all of them. I got love for all of them, no matter how cheesy or corny they may be, altogether or in some parts. Like, I feel like naturally people would be like, oh, Candyman or Army of Darkness. I feel like out of the bunch, those are the two, like, universally that people love. I think that people love the most. I know there's a fan base for everything, but I just think, like, if we're talking like mainstream opinion wise, for lack of better words, those are the two. But honestly, man, like, you look at something like all of these got their thing for me, man. Dr. Giggles, recipe shout out to Larry Drake. Like, Dr. Giggles is one of those movies I feel like could be remade today, but it, in all the cheesiness and the goofy shit in there, there is like there's some magic to that movie, yo. There's a lot of consistency with that movie because Larry Drake as a, what was his name, Ethan Randell or something like that. Um, like, every kill is consistent. Like, he's consistent in his MO, whether it's a needle, whether it's the thing they use to check your reflexes, whether it's, like a thermometer with a spike at the end of it, a scalpel, like there a big ass band-aid in a mirror maze. Like, yo, everything is him just kind of like in his own twisted mind doctoring up his patients or his victims in this case. Like, that shit is, I love Dr. Giggles, man. It just flows throughout. Love how cheesy that shit is. Candyman goes without saying, scary as hell to this day. um the fact that Tony, they treat Tony Todd like he's Pinhead in this movie, like, in the sense of he's not in it a whole lot. Like, I think we forget how much, he's like the shark in Jaws, where they want this to be story and character driven so much where the movie can function pretty well without Tony Todd on screen. So when you do get him on screen again, it's just like, oh shit, like, I almost forgot he can pop up whenever motherfuckers is not putting no spec on his name. Army of Darkness, that's another one that goes without saying. That is my personal favorite of the original Evil Dead movies, until we get to like the remake, and or technically it's not really a remake because Ash pops up at the end and then you get to Evil Dead Rise. We got two more Evil Dead movies coming out. But Army of Darkness is just, I remember seeing this shit back, like, when I was a kid. This movie is like in like a cartoon come to life, man. I love just how zany and wacky this shit gets. It loses its mind at the end of it with the skeletons being, just at the helm of fucking or at the control of I think Bill Moseley played the evil Ash, a deadite at the end of the movie, man. Patricia Tallman plays the pit bitch. That's what they call her. Like, I'm not even trying to be smart, but Patricia Tallman from Night of the Living Dead plays the pit bitch. Like, the practical effects, K&B knocked it out the park. Ash is a badass. Bruce Campbell's a national treasure. There's a lot I could say about that movie. Dead Alive. Dead Alive, like, I feel like pre Terrifier and, just wicked shit, like the sadness and just all that gory business. Dead Alive, man. Peter Jackson, before he was all pristine with King Kong and Lord of the Rings, and he was all upscale and, with his pinky out sipping tea while he's filmmaking, which is cool. Dead Alive, I love those nasty, just gory, brutal fucking humble beginnings, man. I love that this was one of his earliest films. And this movie, I'm telling y'all, if y'all have not seen Dead Alive, there is a, you can call it a house party, but there is a party sequence in the third act of this movie that just is, I'm telling you, it is, if you are a gore hound, Dead Alive is what you want. Like, there's some weird looking effects in there, but everything that they did to bring those zombies and the gore and the limbs and the boils that bust open and go into people's porridge that they're eating at the table. There's a fucking part where somebody's ear falls in the porridge and the person's not even paying attention and just eats the fucking ear. Yo, oh my god, Dead Alive is like the goriest, most glorious. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. God damn, I'm ready to watch that shit tonight. Hellraiser 3. It's one of the most fun in the franchise, honestly. Hellraiser 3 was when they kind of, they brought Pinhead to the inner city and they made it more mainstream. And I think one of the sequences that people don't really talk about in this, even if it does get kind of wild and silly, um, Pinhead's got his own. You know, this was before Michael Myers was slaughtering the fire department and slaughtering the townspeople of Haddonfield. This was before Victor Crowley was slaughtering SWAT team members and police, officers and shit. Pinhead goes bonkers in that club sequence. Everybody getting murdered, whether it's a pool stick going through your stomach, whether it's a fucking, water in your glass turning into actual glass and stabbing you in the face, man. There's chains coming out of nowhere. There's CDs flying around. Motherfuckers throwing cookies out the cookie shop. It's ass, blood, and guts everywhere. Like I'm telling you, Hellraiser 3, such a good time, such a fun time. The Cenobites are even more fun. Critters 4. Critters 4 used to come on like Cinemax and Sci-Fi all the time when I was a kid, man, and it is stupid. It's dumb. That's when they ran out of ideas, and they're like, well, let's just take the Krites to space. Fuck it. That's where they came from anyway, right? But you look back on this, man, and you got my man Charlie, who is like the most continuity that you get throughout this franchise, but then this shit had Brad Dourif and Angela Bassett in a Critters movie back in the 90s, and I'm like, yo, they are the highlight of the entire movie. Don't like the main kid in there. Don't like any of the other fucking characters. There's a dude that's just in the pharmacy stealing like 1,012,000,000,000 pills when the Krites are after him, and Brad Dourif is constantly telling him, get the fuck out of there. There's an unidentified thing moving towards you, and he just is getting pills out of random, and he's got the worst fucking ponytail in the world. I think that same dude with that terrible ponytail in Critters 4 was in Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Another terrible movie. He's a terrible actor. I'm sorry, no diss to do, but you're just not good. But if I had to pick one of these movies, man, it's gonna be life or death decisions here, right? This is life or death decisions. Me stressed out in real time. If I had to pick one of these, man, I'm not gonna hold y'all. The one that I watched the most. Oh, I know I'm gonna get shit for this. I know I'm gonna get so much shit for this, man. I really want to pick Candyman. Rest in peace. Shout out to Tony Todd. But the one I have the most fucking fun watching, I gotta pick Dr. Giggles. If I'm keeping it a beam with y'all like I always do, I gotta pick Dr. Giggles. That's a movie that I can put on. I might possibly stay glued the entire time. I feel like any other movie, there's parts in the film where it's like, yeah, I can just step out for a couple minutes and miss parts. Nah, Dr. Giggles, start to finish. They let you know early on what type of movie this is going to be. It's so silly, but it doesn't let up. Like I said, it is really consistent. And the acting isn't all that terrible in this movie, man, especially from the OG actors and actresses in here. Like the guy that plays that cop that saw little Evan pop out of his mom in the morgue. Yo, that dude, when he's telling his story, like he's actually doing a good job. The black dude that plays his partner does a good job in the movie. Who's the chick in here? Is it a young Alyssa Milano? I want to say Alyssa Milano from one of those TV shows. She's cool, man, but I don't know. Maybe I need to rethink this. But it's Dr. Giggles for now.